Hello again, my fellow ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming again to watch me about this review. And I still don't know what we're going to be calling this, but we've just been throwing Grizzly Spills the Tea, or the Grizzly Gentleman, or this guy that has no idea what the fuck he's doing. But thank you again for joining me, and we are going to be reviewing Quiet Place, day one. Um, so I decided to just come to the IMDb Quiet Place Day 1. Overall, 6.8 out of 10. Not bad. Um, let's see here. A woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra sensitive hearing. And there's some things I was kind of nitpicking in here. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this movie was bad. I'll give you my honest opinion of it later. But there was something I was noticing later. But if you have not watched this, I suggest you do. It's worth the ticket. But of course, you're gonna be like some people and just wait. That's fine too. But overall, actor-wise, this I'm probably gonna get this name wrong, but Lapida. I'm not even gonna pronounce that. Samira, the main character. Spoiler alerts, because we do spoilers, and if you're under 18, don't be hearing me. But we follow the character Samira. I don't even remember them even saying her name, but this is a cancer patient. It starts off with her and her group of other cancer patients. At first, I thought it was a psych ward, but it's far from it. And out of this whole cast I'm seeing, I don't see nothing about the cat. There's a cat throughout this movie that belongs to our main character here. And this cat is somewhat... At first I hated it, but then I started to understand the cat premise, even though it was the only cat in here. As we all know, if you haven't seen the past two movies, these alien creatures, I don't even know what they call them. I don't even think they even gave them a name, but we'll just give them Echo. We'll just call them Echo, right? They have sonic hearing. And pretty much I had been waiting for a movie like this. Well, not a movie like this, but I was always curious about what would it would have been like if these creatures landed in the city, which I was very pleased with, because I believe part two was, not even part two, 1 and 2, because they're connected right after each other, I believe. It's in a small town, and there is, in part 2, they do show when they land these aliens, but it's still like a small hick town. It's not, New York. But I liked the connection they did, because that was one thing when I was walking into this movie. I was like, how are they going to connect these movies together with the first two? And I was surprised. I thought they were going to have someone like the dad, I can't remember the actor's name, or the mom, be talked about or shown, but they had Jijmon, I can't pronounce that either, but this character from part 2 was in here, and I thought that was pretty unique. Well, not unique, but it was gonna happen. There was gonna be some type of connection, but I liked it overall. He was in it, but not throughout. He had a pretty small role in this film, but like I said, it was just a small little connection. And then this character, Joseph, Eric is pretty much her companion besides the cat in this film. I'm trying to see if there's more pictures. Oh, here we go. Photos. Duh. Let's get over here. Photos. So, there it is right there, the cat. This little bastard right here. But I like the cat. So let's see what we got in here. What pictures? Oh, these are just the actors. Whoop. Why is he in here? He wasn't even in the movie. But overall, let's see how much did it make? I'm kind of curious. That's kind of why too I waited a bit. Let's see. Did you know the lead actor was afraid of cats, so she had to do undergo cat therapy to play. Oh wow, that's interesting. User reviews. Oh god, I wonder if someone's talking shit. Gotta find them, but hold on. Where is the okay? So the budget was 67 million. That was the estimated gross worldwide. Opening weekend was 52 million. Budget 67. Gross worldwide 109 million. So overall, I mean, it did okay. Nothing to brag about, but it did okay. So let's see these reviews. We gotta find someone in here that's. Let's see. Truly disappointing. 90 out of the 100 found this 24 days later. Shush. A Quiet Place, A Cute Cat. The story isn't as focused on family as the previous ones, which I liked. I'm tired of watching watching oblivious children. The L was getting under my teeth. Children mess things up these kind of movies. There's also a very cute cat, which lines up the horror element. Somewhat. The film is an interesting addition to the franchise, showing an initial alien invasion. I felt engaged throughout the almost 2-hour run, with no boring moments. I will strongly agree with that. There was no boring moments for me throughout this film. I think there was only one moment, one scene, and that was with the main actress and Eric. I think there was a moment where they're at her apartment or something, and that was the only moment I was like, come on, get on with it. But after that, it was right back to it. However, I wish they had explored the origin of the aliens more, as there's so much potential for interesting lore beyond just following the two main protagonists. The sound design is amazing. While some CGI is great, some parts aren't. Yeah, CGI is fine. I don't think it's too crazy. Of course, it's just someone's opinion. But what he would say, there is potential. I could strongly agree that there is potential, just because, just like all these Hollywood movies these days are going backwards, which is fine. And the only thing is there is potential for this, just because I'm curious about these aliens. Obviously they only go by hearing, but it's also like, how did they get here? Like, obviously they came from the sky, but what's going on there? Were they from some type of other planet, or were they just drifting into space? But man, so in this movie, there's a moment, and this is like a little after the landing of these aliens. There's a moment, I believe, after they're hiding in the theater, after everyone's kind of figured out, hey, these motherfuckers go by sound. So there's a moment where she and her cat almost get wrecked on because the cat ran right next to a bell, and obviously it jingled. And moment where this alien comes in and just sniffs around, but then the helicopters, the military start throwing a warning up in the sky, and obviously the noise attracts them. But when you see as much as these things rampage through the city, it is the scariest fucking thing ever. To me, watching it, I was like, there's no way I would make it. And that's not even like them eating me or gnarling me. They could run through me like a goddamn, like Jumanji. You remember Jumanji, where the stampede scenes? That it reminded me of that. Like, it's just nonstop stomping. And that was one thing too about these creatures that I've noticed, and I can't remember in one or two, but I don't even think they eat people. Like, do they eat the people? Like, they just kill them, and they're like, is that what they really are? They're just invading Earth, and they're just, knocking us down, and that's about it. Because like I said, there's no explanation to these creatures. There's no alibi. There's no, what is their purpose? Like, what is going on with them? What else can I think of? The pizza thing. So in this film, the main character, her and her pizza thing, which was kind of annoying to me, but at the end, it comes around to why, but also at the same time, I was like, But I will not be lying to you. I was craving pizza like a madman at the end of this film, and I had Papa John's because of this character. Excuse me. But overall, I would say, before I even say what I really believe, what is this? No, don't give a shit. Before I give my honest or like what, I don't know how I'm going to be rating these anyways, but so, okay, there's a scene later. To me, I'm wondering how they know there's water right in front of them when they only go off sound. Because when the boat is taking off at the very end with the people, the left survivors, they're all circling around the water as if they know there's water there. And that's what I'm kind of wondering. It's like, yes, we know they can only go by sound, but can they hear the water, like, the ripples or the small waves, and that's where they know it's there? But like I said, there's so much potential because what is going on with these things? Like, are they... I strongly believe they're going to keep going on with this franchise. So it's like, are they going to go forward more? Meaning like backwards, like more origins deeper prior to this film? Or are we going to jump back to the future and they're going to pretty much go Super Saiyan 2? We're like, oh, they're the creatures, we're killing them all. But it's like, oh, well, there's these mutated ones, which usually happens in these type of films where they go times 2 harder. But overall, I would say this movie is worth it. Besides the review that they're giving, which 6.8 out of 10, I would say it's worth the movie ticket. It's, if you're going to wait, you're going to wait, but it's worth going to go see. Like, I enjoyed this film. I was not bored throughout this movie. It kept me very interested. At first, I didn't really care about the characters, but after a while, it started to make sense because, Hollywood has to throw their own little stories in there to, get us, the audience, remorse for these characters. But overall, that's all I have to say about this film. This review is short but sweet, but also happy 4th of July, everybody. Also, keep in mind to keep it classy, and y'all have a good day.